This morning's video is the third whiskey of the night for me. I started out with the Lowen McKinnon cocoa aged Canadian single malt whiskey. Then I moved on to the Pike Creek 21-year-old it gets harder to say the more you've had to drink. Oloroso finished Canadian whiskey. Beautiful, beautiful whiskey. Beautiful dram, that 21-year-old Pike Creek. Oloroso finished. Now I understand. This is one that is also from the BC Premium Spirits release, but not from the 2019 BC Premium Spirits release. This is from the 2018 Premium Spirits release, which didn't really make it to Vancouver Island, but I managed to get this bottle shipped in from Alberta, and I liked it so much that when I saw this bottle on the shelf in a local store, I bought this one too. So I started with this one 4 months ago, and I was seeing that the level was getting low. So when I saw this on the shelf, I ended up picking that up too. And I have enjoyed it quite a bit. But I'm coming back to the one that I opened 4 months ago. This one I've just been enjoying. But this one I've been enjoying too, but this is the one that I started and I made a video about, and now I'm doing the 4 months later in this bottle that has been exposed to the air for 4 months. Here we go. I had a hard time trying to figure this one out. So this is why I drank so much of it, because every time I had a dram, I tried to figure out what was about it. And it was just hard to pinpoint. So I had to get a second one just to try and pinpoint some more. Let's see if I got this figured out. Oh. It's 4 grain. So we've got some rye, we've got some corn, we've got some wheat, and we've got some malted barley from what I can gather. There were 11 casks that this was made from 11 casks of different kinds of whiskey. It was all blended together to give a very interesting nose. There's a little bit of everything here. There's a little bit of rye. There's a little bit of corn sweetness. There's a little bit of the wheat sweetness. There's a little bit of the malt. It's 4 grain after all. So corn, malted barley, rye, and wheat. Yeah. So it's not going to come across like any other kind of whiskey. It's not going to come across like 100% rye. It's not going to come across like a single malt. It's not going to come across like a heavy, high wheat. It's just a unique fusion of all 4 grains. And that's what was so perplexing about it for me. This Canadian whiskey doesn't seem to fall into any one category. But now that I knows it, it's quite nice. It gives me some sweetness, it gives me some spices, it gives me a little bit of everything. It is also bottled, if I recall, at 49% alcohol by volume. Yeah, it sure is. So it packs a punch, along with the beguiling nose that I am experiencing at the moment. It's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit grainy. Getting a bit of a maraschino cherry note there. Along with all those grains. It's mostly aged in ex-bourbon barrels from what I can gather. So there's some caramel and some vanilla as well as those grainy notes that are coming in. That's what made it so different. There's some vanilla. Yeah. This is complex. On the nose already, it's complex. There are a lot of things going on here, and I think that's what perplexed me with it at first. There were so many good things going on that I couldn't really put my finger on which ones I wanted to concentrate on. And the whole thing kind of overwhelmed me when I tried to do that. Now, with 4 months of oxidation, I'm beginning to understand this very enchanting whiskey much better. Get that palate all cleaned up because I was sipping on some Pike Creek 21-year-old Oloroso sherry finish. Let's go now. It's malty. It's sweetness. It's fruity. It has so many things going on at the same time. And all of those things are bold, and all of them are leaping out simultaneously, trying to get your attention. It's like the same concept as a Japanese whiskey, where everything is harmonious and everything kind of comes out at the same time, but everything is toned down and gentle so that it just hits you gradually and you go, oh, that's so nice. But this has the same effect but on steroids. It has all the flavors coming at you at the same time. They just blam hit you at 49% alcohol by volume, and each one of them is strong and screaming out for your attention. That it has the same effect as a Japanese whiskey, but it's not so gentle. It just, each of the elements of this are crying out for your attention, and it makes for something a little confusing if you're not ready for it, which I was not at first. And it didn't help that it was still kind of closed in a fresh bottle. But now that it's opened up some, You've got all of these things going on. Maybe there are too many things at once. There's vanilla, there's sweetness, there's some caramel, there's maltiness. Did I say vanilla? Yes, there's some there. There's spiciness. There's everything you could possibly desire in a whiskey right here. But all of it is screaming out at you at the same time. So it's hard to decide which notes to concentrate on. Wow. I did not understand this whiskey until this moment. I'd had almost a bottle and a half of it. But now I get it. With the 4 grains, there's a little bit of everything going on. And all of it is crying for your attention. And there's just so many of these things that if you're not looking for it, it will just overwhelm you. And confuse you all the way to hell and back while you try and figure out what this is about. It is a Gooderham Worts tour de force. And I am glad that I've had these 2 bottles to figure it out. And I will enjoy the rest of it. To take in more of the experience and savor this beautiful, complex, delicious, beguiling, enchanting 4-grain Canadian whiskey. Oh, Dr. Don, you're a tricky one. But now I understand what you were doing with this. Beautiful job. The nose has a little bit of everything different. Every time I take a sniff, I find something new. And every time I sip, I find something new again. Something new of all the things coming together at the same time. Fruits, sweetness, spiciness. This is one beautiful, overpowering whiskey. I'm glad I came back to it, because I did not know what to make of it when I first tried it. Cheers.
Foodquig.
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 Yeah.